Welcome to a special Hollywood edition of Our World with Black Enterprise. He's the Oscar-winning actor turned American gangster. Denzel Washington is our headliner. And our roundtable talks openly about the challenges of being black in Hollywood. American Gangster. It's the most anticipated film of the year. Hollywood's about to tell the story of Frank Lucas, a real-life heroin kingpin who ran Harlem in the 1970s. It's said at his height, he was grossing about $1 million a day. Denzel Washington will play the gangster who smuggled drugs into the United States on military planes during the Vietnam War. I caught up with Washington back in New York. With so much buzz surrounding the movie, I asked if part of the reason he took the role is understanding the love affair America has with gangsters on the screen.
No, because, and you know what? I'm learning it now that it's coming out and the excitement and the hype, and I've had more people coming up to me and, oh, I can't wait for America. People are fascinated with gangster movies. They really are. Even my own son. Like, I can't wait for this one. I don't know what it is, you know. I mean, as a kid, you know, you think of the, you know, James Cagney movies or whatever. I guess I don't know what it is. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, I know we have a love of gangsters, though,
right.
from Cagney to Tony Soprano.
Right.
We love them.
It's just, I'm finding it interesting that there's been more hype from people. You know, I go to a restaurant, and guys parking the car, man, I can't wait. I know November 2nd. I'm like, wow, they know. They're waiting.
Right.
You know, so that's interesting.
But that means it's just got to be that good because the anticipation walking in.
Well, yeah, it better be. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if that's coming from people already hearing that it's good, which it is, or just, you know. And I think also maybe with me, because now having done Training Day, and now people are going, oh, he's playing another bad guy. So I guess there's more. With Training Day, nobody saw it coming.
Right.
So now there might be a little more anticipation.
I don't know if you were cheating my notes or not, but this is my next
question.
Okay.
The idea makes sense. You know, 2 + 2 is 4.
There you go. The idea of Training Day, and now Frank Lucas, who was, you know, Training Day might have been an amalgamation of a lot of cats you knew.
Right.
Frank Lucas is Frank Lucas,
right.
And he is a cold-blooded cat in this movie and was in real life. Any trepidation in taking that?
Yeah, some. I mean, you know, it was important for me to know, which we did. That, I mean, at the end of the movie, he's a small, broken man. Comes out the gates like any other criminal or ex-con, alone.
Depicted in the movie, and by all accounts in real life, Frank Lucas was a man with strong family values.
Whose house is that, Frank?
That is your house, Mama.
Mine!
And a twisted moral code.
You know, boy, you know, if you wasn't my brother, I'd kill you. You know that, don't you?
I asked the Academy Award winner if that speaks to the complexity of playing this kind of gangster.
It speaks to life. You know, people say, oh, you're playing a bad guy. Well, what does that exactly mean? A guy who's done bad things. What is a bad guy wake up in the morning and slap his wife around and say fix breakfast, and then last thing he does at the end of the night is stomps his kids before he goes to sleep? You know, is that the definition of a bad guy? He was in a very dirty business, and he was very good at it. You know, and as he said, in that business, you told people things once, you know, and there was no place for nice people. You know, they were in a dope selling business, and it was a murderous, treacherous business.
Washington says he's well aware of the fact that these kinds of movies can have an effect on young people, but says it's a parent's responsibility to set the boundaries of what's real and what isn't.
Listen, a child can be susceptible. Some child might watch American Gangster and say, I want to be a gangster, but it's really about what's going on in your home. If it's not happening at home, then that child can be, you know, negatively influenced by a commercial, by the news, in the schools.
He says he knows this firsthand because his mother stepped in when she saw things influencing her child negatively. We also spoke about the irony of playing a heroin dealer, since it was that drug that took out a number of his closest friends.
My mother had the good sense to get me out of town. You know, it was just turning for the worse. I went away to private school upstate New York in '68, right around when Frank Lucas was really firing on all cylinders. I remember the block. I didn't know who Frank Lucas was, but I know where he sold. I know where his dope was sold, 116th Street. And the guys that I grew up with who didn't get a chance to go with, there was 4 of us that were really tight, all became heroin addicts. Not bad guys. Really, not bad guys at all. Same as me. I won't say I went that way. My mother steered me that way, and they didn't have that luxury or that opportunity that I had to get out. You know, and the heroin got him, and the streets got him, and one, you know, did 28 years in the system, armed robbery, and this and that, and all based on needing that next hit.
And we talked about the walk.
Let me ask you this. I was in the barbershop yesterday, and for as long as I've known you, I've not asked you this question, and probably wanted to and forgot or didn't think about it. In the barbershop yesterday, we're talking about American Gangster. Mm-hmm. And the loudest barber is always one in the shop.
The best liar.
The best liar.
Right.
Said, I told him I saw the movie. Right. He said, does he do the Denzel walk? I said, yeah.
Bumpy was rich, but he wasn't white man rich. You see, he wasn't wealthy.
That walk. Don't be puzzled. You know what the walk is.
Yeah, but
brother.
I mean, I don't know what it is.
And that's what I was going to ask. Is that practiced?
No.
Is that you? Is that your father's walk? How'd you get it? Because obviously you've heard people talk about it. And it's commanded.
I don't like to talk about it because I don't want to be self-conscious about it.
So you start walking
right? And think, yeah, right. You don't want to lose your mojo.
Crooked.
Yeah, don't mess it up.
But you know, I mean, it must be something if a bunch of dudes are sitting around talking about your walk. Now, you's a bad boy if you can do that.
I guess.
But not your dad.
No conscious.
No conscious.
No.
All right. Because I've been working on
the shoes.
Because we all admit it. We've been working on it and can't capture it.
We knew a guy when we were kids, and he was a smooth guy. He must say he wasn't from Detroit, but he could have been. And
should have been.
And he was called. You know, in those days too, being sweet was what it was.
Right. That's what
Sweet had a whole different
context.
And his name was TT. His name was TT, and TT just had a walk. And I said, his shoes must be hurting him because he almost doesn't touch the ground. He was just, you remember how they could, how you could make a song with your taps? He was like TT. I don't know where he is, God bless him. TT.
Washington's next project is The Great Debaters, where he will star and direct. The film is about a small black debate team that goes on to national prominence.
Just a good story about the little guys against the big guys, the little train that could. And the people have really been responding to it well, so I'm pleased, and I look forward to getting the film out.
You still love the process of creation from the director's side? I remember you telling me that's really something that you...
God willing, I'll be doing that the rest of my life.
Well, man, as always, I'm always excited when a new Denzel Washington project comes out. So
one of these days I'm going to dress like you, man. One of these days I'm going to finally get it together, give me some gators. I dress like you in the movies.
Well, see, I'm doing the best I can. The best I can.
Where's my violin? I bring it.
Good to see you.
Always
man.
A pleasure.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
What the challenge for all of us is to be smart enough to go out and put the things in place to make our dreams come true.
Our headliner has been brought to you by Chevy, an American Revolution.